Have you ever laid in bed at night, staring at the ceiling, and thought to yourself, why is sleep so hard to come by these days? You toss and turn, you glance at the clock, and the more you try to relax, the more restless you feel. For many people over 60, this has become a familiar routine. And when nights like this keep piling up, the temptation to just reach for a pill can feel almost impossible to resist. After all, one little tablet promises a night of deep, uninterrupted rest. But have you ever wondered if that quick fix is really helping you in the long run, or if it's quietly stealing more from you than it gives? Sleep is not just about feeling rested the next day. It's about your memory, your heart health, your mood, even how strong your immune system is. At our age, sleep becomes one of the most powerful medicines our body naturally produces. And that's why this conversation is so important. Because while sleep pills can sometimes serve a purpose, relying on them too often can create a cycle that leaves you more dependent, less energized, and sometimes even less healthy than before. On the other hand, natural remedies may take a bit more patience, but they work with your body instead of against it. And that can make all the difference. So, let's have an honest talk, almost like two friends sitting together with a cup of tea. You don't need medical jargon or scary warnings. You need clarity, comfort, and real, practical steps you can try for yourself. Let's start with what makes sleep pills so appealing. They promise certainty. You swallow one, and within an hour, you're usually asleep. That immediate result feels like a lifeline, especially if you've been running on empty night after night. But here's the tricky part. Most sleep medications don't actually create natural sleep. Instead, they sedate your brain, almost like flipping a switch. You close your eyes, but the deep, restorative phases of sleep, the kind your body needs to heal and recharge, aren't always happening as they should. That's why some people wake up groggy, foggy, or even more tired than before, even if they technically slept 8 hours. And then comes the hidden cost. Over time, your body can build a tolerance. What worked in the beginning may stop working unless the dose increases. Before you know it, the pill that was supposed to be an occasional helper feels like a nightly necessity. And when that happens, your natural ability to fall asleep on your own gets weaker, almost as if the muscles of sleep have gone out of practice. That's not to say sleep medication has no place sometimes. After surgery, during a health crisis, or in specific cases, they can be an important tool. But for long-term health, leaning too heavily on them is like building your house on sand, shaky, unstable, and never quite secure. Now let's shift to a different perspective. What if instead of forcing sleep, you gently invited it back? That's where natural remedies come in. And I don't mean just herbal teas or essential oils, though those can help. I'm talking about creating conditions where your body remembers how to do what it's always been designed to do, drift into deep, natural rest. One of the simplest yet most overlooked remedies is light. As we get older, our eyes take in less light during the day, which confuses the body's sleep clock. If you spend most of your day indoors, your brain might not be getting a clear signal of when it's day and when it's night. Imagine your body like a grand orchestra. It needs a conductor. Sunlight is that conductor. Just 20 to 30 minutes of natural light in the morning can reset your rhythm, telling your body, this is day. Tonight you'll be ready for night. Another natural remedy is routine. You may laugh and say, but I'm retired now, I don't need a schedule. Yet your body thrives on rhythm more than you realize. Going to bed at wildly different times can confuse your brain, almost like changing time zones every other night. Think about how children need a bedtime routine story, pajamas, dim lights, and how quickly they respond to it. Well, we don't grow out of that need. We just forget to give it to ourselves. A consistent routine, even something as simple as a warm cup of chamomile tea, brushing your teeth, dimming the lights, and listening to soft music, can train your body to know, it's time to wind down. And let's not overlook the eye roll of movement. You don't have to run marathons or spend hours in the gym. Gentle exercise like walking, stretching, or even gardening can do wonders. When you move your body during the day, You build up what's called sleep pressure, which makes your rest deeper and more satisfying at night. Some people avoid exercise out of fear it will tire them out, but in reality, it recharges you. The key is to avoid heavy activity right before bedtime. Think morning or early afternoon, so your body has time to relax before the evening. Here's where things get interesting. When you start combining these small, natural steps, they create a powerful effect together. Sunlight tells your body when to wake. Movement burns energy and balances your system. Routine signals your brain when to relax. Suddenly, instead of relying on a pill to push you into an artificial slumber, you've built a gentle pathway that leads you toward real, refreshing sleep. It doesn't happen overnight, pun intended, but the results last. You wake up clearer, steadier, and more yourself. Of course, this doesn't mean natural remedies are magical or effortless. They require patience and sometimes a bit of experimentation. Maybe chamomile tea works wonders for your neighbor, but not for you. Maybe lavender oil soothes one person, while another swears by a warm bath before bed. The beauty is, none of these carry the risks of dependence or grogginess. They're safe tools you can adjust and adapt until you find what fits your life best. And the reward sleep that feels like real rest, not a chemically induced blackout, is worth it. What I want you to take from this is a sense of hope. If you've been struggling with sleep, you're not broken. You're not destined to live the rest of your years in a fog of sleepless nights or medication reliance. Your body still remembers how to rest, and with a little care, you can remind it. Think of it like tending to a garden. At first, the soil may feel dry and stubborn, but when you water it, give it sunlight, and tend to it gently, life begins to return. Your sleep works the same way, it's just waiting for the right conditions to flourish again. Now that we've begun opening this conversation and you've seen the contrast between relying on pills and nurturing your natural sleep, let's keep moving forward. There are still more remedies, insights, and practical steps we can explore together to help you find the kind of rest you truly deserve. Have you noticed how the body sometimes sends signals in whispers before it shouts? Maybe you've caught yourself yawning in the afternoon or nodding off during a TV show, only to find yourself wide awake when your head actually hits the pillow at night. This pattern is incredibly common, and it often ties into one of the most overlooked natural remedies of all, food. What we eat and drink plays a huge role in how well we sleep. Yet many of us don't connect that cup of coffee late in the day or that heavy meal before bed to the restless night that follows. Caffeine is an obvious culprit, of course, but it hides in more places than just coffee. Chocolate, black tea, green tea, even some medications contain enough to disrupt your night. As we age, our bodies process caffeine more slowly. What didn't bother you in your 40s might linger in your system well into the evening now. The good news is, swapping to herbal teas like chamomile or valerian root not only avoids the caffeine trap, but actively helps soothe the nervous system. Think of it as sending your body a gentle, "It's time to relax" message, instead of a jolt of energy when you least need it. And then there's sugar. You might think a sweet treat before bed helps you wind down. It feels comforting after all, but sugar can spike your blood sugar levels and cause your body to release stress hormones as it works to bring them back down. That's why you may fall asleep quickly after dessert, only to wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning wide awake. A better option is something light and balanced, like a small bowl of oatmeal or a banana with a few almonds. These give your body nutrients that actually support melatonin production, the hormone that helps regulate sleep. But food is just one part of the bigger picture. Let's talk about something that many people over 60 secretly struggle with: racing thoughts at night. You lie down, close your eyes, and instead of drifting into rest, your mind becomes a movie theater playing every worry, regret, or what-if scenario. That mental chatter is often louder than any neighbor's barking dog or ticking clock. And here's where natural remedies can truly shine, not in silencing your thoughts entirely, but in calming your body enough that the thoughts lose their grip. Breathing exercises, for example, might sound too simple to matter, but they have a profound effect on the nervous system. One technique I've seen help countless people is the 4-7-8 method. You breathe in gently through your nose for a count of 4, hold that breath for 7, and then exhale slowly through your mouth for 8. Doing this just a few times signals your body to switch from alert mode into rest mode. It's almost like giving your brain permission to let go of the day. And unlike a pill, which forces your body into sedation, this practice teaches your body how to naturally relax again. Another powerful tool is journaling. Not the kind you did as a teenager, but a simple practice of writing down what's circling in your mind before bed. When you see your worries on paper, they lose their power. It's like transferring them out of your head and giving your mind a break. Some people even write down 3 things they're grateful for before sleeping. This doesn't just calm the mind, it also shifts your focus toward peace instead of worry. Think about how different it feels to end the day reflecting on gratitude compared to rehashing frustrations. That emotional shift alone can prepare you for more restful sleep. And we can't forget the environment itself. Imagine trying to sleep in a noisy, cluttered, or overly bright room. Even the smallest details, the hum of electronics, a street light, creeping in through thin curtains, or a bedroom that's too warm can disrupt the delicate process of falling asleep. Darkness, coolness, and quietness are the body's natural allies when it comes to rest. Investing in blackout curtains, a small fan for white noise, or simply tidying up the space around your bed can create an environment that whispers rest instead of shouting distraction. Many people underestimate how much their surroundings matter, but when you think about it, your bedroom is your sanctuary. It deserves the same care you'd give to a sacred space. This brings us back to the heart of the comparison. Pills may overpower your body into shutting down, but natural remedies create harmony that lets your body choose sleep willingly. It's the difference between forcing someone into silence and inviting them into a peaceful conversation. One method leaves tension lingering under the surface. The other builds true rest from the inside out. And if you've ever doubted whether natural methods really work, let me share this with you. The body is incredibly resilient. Even after years of poor sleep habits or dependency on medications, change is still possible. I've spoken with people who thought they'd never sleep without pills, only to find that after a few weeks of combining small changes, morning sunlight, cutting caffeine, calming routines, and breathing techniques, they were falling asleep on their own and waking up clearer than they had in years. That's the hope I want you to hold on to. Your body hasn't forgotten how to sleep. It just needs to be reminded. Now, as we've explored food, thought patterns, and environment, you may already be imagining which changes you could try tonight. Maybe it's skipping that cup of tea after dinner, or dimming the lights half an hour before bed. Maybe it's keeping a notebook on your nightstand for those nagging thoughts. These are all small, doable steps. But there's still more to uncover, especially when it comes to the deeper emotional and physical connections that either fuel insomnia or restore sleep. Sometimes when we think about sleep, we only focus on the physical side, our bodies, our habits, our diets. But let's not forget the emotional side of things. At this stage of life, it's not unusual to carry more than just daily worries to bed. For many, the quiet of the night brings memories of loved ones lost, thoughts about health changes, or even the uncertainty of what tomorrow may bring. These emotions don't simply disappear when the lights go out. They stay with us, often making sleep feel like an uphill battle. Pills might temporarily mask that restlessness, but they don't soothe the heart. Natural remedies, however, often take the emotional landscape into account, which is why they can feel gentler and more complete. Take the simple act of connection, for instance. Loneliness is one of the silent thieves of sleep in older adults. Sharing time with family, friends, or even joining a community group can dramatically improve sleep quality. Why? Because when the heart feels less burdened, the mind quiets down. If you've ever noticed that you sleep better after a good laugh with a friend or a heartfelt conversation with a loved one, that's no coincidence. Joy, connection, and a sense of belonging act almost like a natural sedative, easing the body into rest without a pill in sight. Then there's the role of touch. Something as simple as a warm bath before bed can make a world of difference. The warmth relaxes muscles, lowers stress, and when you step out of the tub, your body temperature naturally cools, mimicking the process it goes through as you drift into sleep. It's a physical cue that says, it's time. Some find comfort in gentle stretching or self-massage, with calming oils like lavender. These small acts not only soothe the body, but also calm the spirit. Compare that with a pill that forces your eyes shut, but leaves your shoulders still tense and your heart still heavy. It's clear which one offers the deeper kind of rest. And speaking of lavender, nature's pharmacy is full of gentle aids that have stood the test of time. Herbal remedies like valerian root, passion flower, and lemon balm have been used for centuries to ease restlessness and promote sleep. They're not about knocking you out, they're about nudging your body into balance. A cup of tea, a drop of essential oil on your pillow, or even a diffuser in your room, can create a calming ritual that tells your body, now, we let go. These remedies may not hit like a hammer the way a pill does, but that's their strength. They encourage your body to remember its own rhythms, instead of overriding them. But natural remedies also extend beyond herbs and teas. One of the most overlooked yet powerful tools is gratitude. Yes, gratitude. When you take a few moments before bed to reflect on even the smallest blessings of your day, a kind word, a warm meal, the simple comfort of your pillow, you shift your brain away from stress and into peace. Studies show that practicing gratitude can lower blood pressure, reduce stress hormones, and improve sleep. And beyond science, you can feel the truth of it. Going to bed with a thankful heart feels lighter than going to bed with a restless one. Now, let's face something honestly. Change isn't always easy, especially if you've been leaning on pills for a while. Your body might even resist at first, because it's used to that quick chemical push. That's okay. Transitioning to natural remedies doesn't mean you have to throw the pills away overnight. It means slowly giving your body new tools, gently practicing new rhythms, and allowing your natural sleep to return. Think of it like teaching an old friend how to dance again. They may stumble at first, but with patience, they'll find the steps. And here's something beautiful. Every small step you take is progress, even dimming the lights an hour earlier. Taking a short walk in the morning sun, or replacing your late coffee with an herbal tea is a victory. These little wins stack up, and before you know it, your body begins to respond. You may notice you fall asleep a little faster, stay asleep a little longer, or wake up feeling just a bit clearer. That's your body's way of saying, thank you for trusting me. I can do this. So if you've ever felt trapped in the cycle of sleepless nights and medication, remember this. You are not powerless. You have more influence over your sleep than you might believe. Pills can play a role in emergencies or specific medical situations, but they don't hold the keys to your rest, your habits, your choices, your connection to nature and to others. Those are the keys, and they are in your hands right now. As we bring all of this together, the habits, the food, the environment, the emotional healing, it becomes clear that natural remedies aren't just about sleep. They're about wholeness. They remind us that our bodies are wise, our hearts resilient, and our nights can be peaceful without dependency. What you do today, even something as small as choosing gratitude over worry, can ripple into tomorrow's rest and the days after that. And that, my friend, is the gift I want you to carry forward. That you still have the power to invite deep, natural, restorative sleep back into your life, one gentle step at a time. So here's where we arrive at the heart of it all. You've seen both sides now, the convenience of pills and the patience of natural remedies. And maybe you're asking yourself, which one is really right for me? The truth is, there isn't always a single answer. Every person's journey with sleep is unique. But there's a guiding principle I want you to hold on to. Natural remedies may take longer, but they build strength within you. Pills may feel faster, but too often they borrow from tomorrow to pay for tonight. When you think of your body as a trusted friend rather than a machine to be switched off, the choice begins to feel clearer. Imagine waking up in the morning without the heavy fog of medication, without the nagging thought of, "Do I need another pill tonight?" Instead, you stretch, you sip your tea, and you feel proud that your rest came naturally. That kind of freedom is worth working toward. And it starts with trust. Trust that your body still remembers how to sleep, and trust that small, consistent actions can rebuild that memory. Maybe tonight you'll dim the lights earlier. Maybe you'll step outside tomorrow morning for that bit of sunlight. Maybe you'll trade the late coffee for chamomile or write down those lingering thoughts before bed. Each one of these steps is like planting a seed. On their own, they may feel small, but together, they create a garden of peace that grows stronger with time. And remember, you don't have to do everything perfectly. There's no gold star for falling asleep at the exact same time every night, or sticking to a flawless bedtime routine. What matters most is compassion for yourself. Some nights will be harder than others, and that's okay. What counts is that you keep creating the conditions where real rest can find you. Just as the seasons change, so too will your sleep ebb and flow, but always moving toward balance when you nurture it with care. Think, too, about the ripple effects. Better sleep doesn't just mean more energy, it means sharper memory, steadier moods, stronger immunity, even more joy in the simple things like taking a walk, playing with your grandchildren, or savoring your morning coffee without exhaustion, dragging you down. Every hour of restful sleep is like a gift you give yourself, one that keeps giving throughout the day. Pills may trick the body into a version of sleep, but natural rest restores you in ways medicine never can. So if you've been leaning on pills, don't see this as a failure. See it as a starting point. You've survived, you've managed, and now you have the chance to thrive. If you've already begun using natural remedies, keep building on them. Notice the changes, no matter how small. Celebrate them. A night where you wake only once instead of 3 times, a morning where you feel a little more alert, an evening where your mind quiets just a bit faster. These are victories worth acknowledging. And I want you to know this. You're not alone. In this journey, thousands of others your age are walking the same path, learning how to reclaim their nights without medication, learning how to trust their bodies again. Your story matters, and sharing your struggles and your victories can encourage someone else to take that first step. That's why I'd love for you to share your experiences in the comments below. What has helped you the most? What are you still struggling with? Your words could be the exact encouragement someone else needs tonight. If you found comfort, hope, or even just one practical idea in this conversation, please take a moment to like this video. It helps others find it too. And if you want more simple, natural, and uplifting ways to live your best life after 60, subscribe to this channel. We're building a community where your age isn't a limit, it's a strength. Together, we're proving that health, energy, and peace of mind are not things of the past, but treasures we can still claim today. So tonight, as you prepare for bed, take a deep breath, release the worries, dim the lights, trust your body, and remind yourself that sleep is not lost. It's waiting for you, gently, patiently, like an old friend ready to return. Here's to many more nights of natural restorative rest, and many more mornings filled with clarity, joy, and strength. Here's to living your best life at any age.